So, Bombsight is a soup who ranks among the most powerful characters in the boys' universe. His punches are so devastating that even Soldier Boy can't casually tank them. Absolute powerhouse. But what would happen if Bombsight fought Homelander? On one side, you have an unstoppable force, on the other, a godlike being. Titan versus Titan vibes. But before comparing them, let's first talk about Bombsight. Bombsight belongs to the first generation of soups and possesses V1. V1 is basically a version of Compound V, but around 10 times more powerful, next level upgrade. Bombsight was blessed with incredible abilities. His strength and durability arguably surpass even Soldier Boy. His skin has become so ridiculously tough that physically damaging him is almost impossible. Soldier Boy was attacking him with everything he had, but Bombsight barely took any damage. That's why Soldier Boy eventually tried targeting Bombsight's internal organs instead. As for strength, Bombsight can fly. Because of this, he can build momentum and amplify the force behind his attacks. We saw this when he slammed into Butcher and sent him flying. Then he used the exact same attack on Kimiko. Even beings like Soldier Boy were getting knocked off balance by his punches. And the fact that Bombsight managed to overpower Butcher's powers and knock him unconscious is a massive feat, serious statement of power. Now, Bombsight can fly, but his flight works more like a rocket. It comes with major stability issues. Because of that, he usually crash lands rather than flying gracefully. And all of this happened during Bombsight's very first appearance. We're likely going to see even crazier feats from him in What Rising. But now let's talk about Homelander. Homelander possesses the standard powerhouse abilities: superhuman strength, durability, flight, and laser vision. And in the boys' universe, around 99% of soups are weaker than Homelander. That's why most of the time he simply lasers his enemies and ends the fight instantly. Interestingly, Homelander has only had 3 truly serious fights in his life. The first happened in season 3 when Queen Maeve turned against him. Maeve had actual battle training, so in hand to hand combat she looked more skilled than Homelander. But even then, Homelander was still physically stronger. Despite using her full potential, Maeve ultimately couldn't defeat him. The second major fight also happened in season 3 when Soldier Boy met Homelander for the first time. This was the first fight where Homelander actually bled. We also saw genuine fear from Homelander towards Soldier Boy. However, there were several moments where it was clear that Homelander was slightly superior in raw strength. He was stopping Soldier Boy's punches and using his flight advantage to constantly throw Soldier Boy off balance. But what makes this even more impressive is the context. Soldier Boy is a V1 soup. Temp V Butcher had military combat experience, and despite facing all of them together, Homelander was still beating everyone up and managed to survive the fight. Monster level durability. The third major fight happened in the season 5 finale. Homelander only lost because he didn't fully utilize his speed. Otherwise, Ryan, Butcher, and Kimiko wouldn't have stood much of a chance against him. After looking at all these fights, one thing becomes obvious: Homelander has always been superior. No one has ever truly defeated him in a fair one on one battle. Now, coming to the conclusion, there's no doubt that Bombsight carries slightly more raw strength and durability than Homelander. Homelander has never managed to knock Butcher unconscious, while Bombsight already has. Similarly, Soldier Boy's normal punches can draw blood from Homelander, but Bombsight shrugged those same punches off like they were nothing. So, if Bombsight's strength and durability are a 10 tenths, then Homelander is probably around a 9, 8 tenths. But when we start comparing everything else: speed, energy attacks, mobility, versatility, and overall combat effectiveness, Homelander comes out ahead. The difference between Bombsight and Homelander is actually quite simple. Bombsight is essentially a successful experiment. Homelander, on the other hand, was designed to be the perfect soupe. Millions of dollars were spent creating him. Years of planning went into his development. He was subjected to continuous experiments for 18 years so he could survive the most extreme conditions imaginable. And Homelander once traveled from space to Earth in roughly 2 seconds. That alone means Bombsight could never match Homelander's speed. And while Bombsight was eventually struggling against Soldier Boy and looked close to defeat, Homelander has outright surpassed Soldier Boy and has even knocked him unconscious using raw strength. That's why, even though Homelander never received V1, the massive compound V enhancement experiments made him even more powerful overall. So, yes, Bombsight wins in pure strength and durability. But Homelander is the more complete package. By using his speed, laser attacks, tactical intelligence, and fully controllable flight, he would eventually defeat Bombsight. Final verdict: Homelander wins. Bombsight may have the edge in raw power, but Homelander's overall toolkit makes him the superior fighter in a one on one battle. And if you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments. See you in the next video.